obviously a very frustrating way to lose. Like, do you feel that? Because I know last year at times frustrations maybe started to mount a little bit, but it doesn't seem like that after this week one loss.
Yeah, I think with every, loss comes a bit of frustration. I think that's just the natural feel of it. But like the guy said, it is only game one, and the thing in the NFL, you got to move on quick. It's a long season, and luckily for us, we'll see these guys again whenever that time may be. But today we got to come and identify and correct. But when it's time to move on, you got to move on.
Next, we go to Scott.
Hey, Ronnie, after the game, Burrow said he thought Denzel and Greg was the best cornerback tandem in the league. And I know you guys talk about that a lot. How did you think those two guys played, especially Greg being back out on the outside for the first time in a while, for the whole time?
Outstanding. We call that corner room specifically the tip of the spear for our defense. When you look at it, it's nothing but man to man out there, and a lot of one high. So it looks good for the quarterback to challenge those guys and all week, really every week, but specifically this week going against those type of receivers. Coach Schwartz made an emphasis of it's going to come down to winning those outside matchups. And they love those challenges. Those two guys are the best in the business for a reason. So I'm just glad that we're able to put on display what they do, day in and day out.
And did it feel like the Bengals kind of operated differently? It felt like they ran it more. They went with more two tight ends and spreading you guys out. And if so, why do you think they did that?
Yeah, they're a pass team. That's their scouting report. But I think, like I said earlier, that first drive, not being able to, kind of stop the bleeding when it came to running the ball, it kind of might have flipped the switch in the OC head, like, hold on, this isn't, or this is working. Let's just keep going with it till it doesn't work. And I think once we came back and made our adjustments and did what we had to do, coaching and players, we kind of nipped it in the bud.
Thanks.
Next, we go to Cam.
Ronnie, I know the first drive was probably a self-motivating factor for you guys, but as the game went on and you kept putting the ball in the offense's hands, getting those 3 and outs and stops in the fourth quarter, giving them chances to win, was that motivation on its own? And does that serve as something that you guys want to carry on as that offense and special teams tries to get some of those things cleaned up, especially what we saw in the second half of the game?
Yeah, 1000%. Us playing and having that energy, celebrating as a team, it just helps the morale of the whole team. And we like to take it, as a challenge. Anytime we out there, no matter the situation, our job is to get the ball back to the offense. So anytime we can do that, especially if it's a quick 3 and out, depending on the game. But it just shifts the energy of the team, and we love that as a defense.
I don't think we've talked to you, over the summer. So for you, like coming into this week and moving through the season, what has your approach been to maybe have a leap this year, this season, and make as much of an impact as you can?
I think mentally, first, being in the system with Coach Schwartz for 3 years now has allowed me to, kind of look at other things on a deeper level now instead of just, the initial what's my job, but what is my corner's job? What is my linebacker's job? How is he going to see this? Which call can, help him play faster? And just things like that, because at this level, talent kind of equates. It's more so the mental things that can give you an edge on, your opponent.
Thanks, Ronnie.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go back to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Ronnie, just wondering, people always talk about trying to get takeaways and increase takeaways, and I know that's a point of emphasis for you guys this year. But really, I mean, what can you do, and what are you doing personally to try to increase your ability to get that ball?
I always say it's like a certain percentage of luck that goes involved, and then there's a certain percentage of just going out there and taking the ball out the air, because you can't call it on defense when you're going to get your opportunity. But in practice, no drop balls, catch extra passes on the jugs. Just any opportunity you get, try to seize it because, like you said, or like I said, a little bit being luck, you can't really control when that moment's going to come. But you want to be able to seize the moment when it does come.
Thank you.
Hmm.
All right, last call for questions for Ronnie. All right, thanks, Ronnie. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.